Okay, we are here with Cyno Story Quest Act 2. Let me read this freaking thing. Where is he? There's a new case in SUMERU City. Considering that the person involved is in a unique situation that's closely related to General Mahamatra Cyno, the latter believes that he must be the one to pursue the investigation. Yet for the mysteries of silence and secrets of sands, this is all just the beginning. Let's do a 10 pull for Sethos, actually. I think Sethos is here. Oh, Sethos isn't even on the banner! Where is he? Bruh. Okay. It will... Let me go do this. Let me unlock this. You basically... I don't even know what you need to do to finish to unlock this quest. Who cares? I have it. You and Paimon return to SUMERU to visit some local friends. It's kind of crazy that we're doing 2 story quests in one patch again. This hasn't happened since Riceley and Neuvillette. We're probably gonna need to do that though. Paimon didn't even get a chance to say anything.
Whoa, the academia sure is busy during the day.
Yep.
But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler,
you know, just let them
Paimon.
find us. Hello, Sayu. Sayu
It's been so long
VTuber.
since we last saw you.
You look alright.
As do you. You don't seem weary at all from your travels. If anything, you
Girl,
seem
you don't
stronger.
even want to know what I've been through in
So,
Fontaine.
What brings you back here?
Nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road
makes
the
me
other
so
day and suddenly
happy.
missed all our friends at SUMERU.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too. It was at a group dinner.
I know exactly
I look
which
forward to
it was
hearing
you
about your
for,
travels.
right?
Something tells me we
Cyno,
must have a lot to catch
Tenari,
up on.
Kaveh, and
Really?
Alhazen.
You were thinking of us too? What a coincidence!
I know what all of you are.
Indeed.
Limp
Or as I
wrist.
call it, the Biryani factor.
The what? The what? I don't know if that's a reference to the first quest. I forgot. Was he trying
You
to make
really
a pun?
want me to say the rest? Okay.
Wait, was he trying to make a pun?
It's always nice to meet Stu again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
Wait, they
You
made
like
a
that
bet.
one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
I don't know how to feel about Cyno. He is definitely
Here's
what
your
not I
500
expected.
Mora.
Thanks, Thanks, Cyno. Feels good to hit the jackpot.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
All right. I'll treat you to some desserts later.
I want desserts.
Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is
Justice must
focused
be
on work,
served.
which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can, you know.
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! All right, wasn't really that obvious.
Obvious enough. Still, that's a fine idea. You are the
We just
heroes of
started and I'm
SUMERU.
just yawning.
It makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow
I
me.
heard this quest is 2.5 hours. I don't know if I'm gonna be awake by the end of this, y'all. I am very interested in Sethos, meeting Sethos, though. Even though he's not playable! Whatever. Maybe next patch. Something tells me we're gonna be making a trip back to SUMERU for 4.7. You want me to go where? Oh, follow Cyno. I went the complete opposite way. Oh, Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused with the Riceleys. Hello?
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Is that your former master?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
What's up with that guy?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage. He taught both me and
Oh, I
Lisa.
think we heard about this guy
Huh?
during the
Cyno's teacher is in
Lisa event.
trouble?
There was a Lisa event
It's
a
ridiculous.
while back.
I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine.
They talked a lot
Until a
about. They
person
teased a lot
targets
about
an old
Colette,
retiree.
Amber, Eula,
Professor,
Cyno, and Lisa.
I've brought some friends.
Yes, I am a friend.
Ah, Cyno. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think.
A flying,
Flying
fairy.
fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for SUMERU.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I suppose.
I've told him
so.
about you before. You are my friends, after all.
Good to meet you.
That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million mora at the back door of the cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me.
10
But I will always
million
be
more?
watching
I mean,
you
I have
and
10
all of your
million more.
secrets.
I think I have 40
Finally,
million.
if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences.
He basically did
Wow, they
report
sure
it to the
didn't mince
mantra,
their
though.
words.
Cyno's right here.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million mora. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million mora, huh? And
I
my
know plenty of people
tomatoes?
who would love 10 million
There were no
mora
witnesses.
for leveling.
So currently the letter is all we've got. So Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Paimon's ready too.
All right, take a look.
I kind of.
Do you see
I
anything
heard some
suspicious?
sentiments from people that they are way more happy with Paimon's voice this patch. There's some type of drawing on there. The threat letter didn't come in an envelope, it was simply written on a piece of paper. Is it the paper?
Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture. It's not the typical kind you see in most books.
Paimon's voice sounds.
Another
I think
thing
people
is,
are way
some
more
of these
happy with
strokes
it.
look kind of blurry.
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained, almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly
What?
not the same paper as we use in the academia,
Maybe it's just something
but the
from
ink is nothing
desert.
special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out. Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Check this awesome
Agreed.
move. Oh wait, wrong
The
game.
staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a
Well,
damp
God,
cloth.
Splashed
A
on
colored
it.
liquid. So, tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Arof. There are some
Why
things I'll need him to take care of.
That guy, who's Arav? Find Matra Arav. Where is he? Is he in here? Hello? Oh, cutscene.
Arav. Ah, there he is.
I don't remember this guy. Who are you?
Mahamatra Cyno.
Is he? Was he in
Sir Cyrus.
Kabe's hangout?
Ah,
I don't remember.
and the
this
Traveler
quest.
and Paimon. It's been a
Was he in
while.
Cyno's story quest? Cyno breathes Arav on the case. It's been so long
As
since I've done
such,
it. So
I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Somebody young and strapped for cash. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and taverns.
So,
Ah,
a
of
tea
course.
place.
Yes, like they sell in the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadid bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
Zahavahi.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of SUMERU City. And change into plain clothes.
Wow, Cyno's thinking
Don't
of
let them see
everything.
you come.
Will do.
Great thinking, Cyno. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now? Yeah,
Where
they've
could
probably
they
been lying
be?
low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
They're
Really?
in the comfort of their own home.
Which part?
The
Paimon?
culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, like you said, they need to wait and see. And crucially, the culprit said they'd be watching the professor's every
Could
move.
it be someone in the academia?
Wait, are you saying...
Wait, it actually might be someone in the academia. It's you?
Found
Cyno
you!
looks so scary.
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter!
It was you?
I don't know what you're talking about. What threat letter?
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden for someone reckless enough to threaten Professor Cyrus. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking
I wonder if
specifically for
you know what's gonna be
Arav.
super funny? I
Whoever
think Cyno,
followed
what
us
if
the whole
Cyno's
way
gone?
was likely to be the culprit.
Cyno
I
saw
was
us being
just
followed.
listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big
Yeah,
deal?
I'm just nosy.
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
He was looking you.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth. All to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing
sounds
off the
so
exits to the city doesn't
angry.
affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all along.
Bro, I need to play some
You
Phoenix
had to be
Wright music
somewhere
over
where you
there.
could
He got
monitor the
caught.
professor's movements.
Objection!
You can't pin this on me. I haven't done anything.
Really?
Yet.
Then why are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent
It's
have
really
no
hardly
reason to fear the
proven
Matra.
innocent.
But you, your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
I
Cyno
would
is
never.
definitely Anubis, but
Don't
a really
try
short one.
anything or
A
you'll
really,
pay the
really short
price.
Anubis.
Now come with me.
Well, that was over quickly. Cyno already caught the guy.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm
I'm
afraid
glad
he's
at
ruined
least
his whole
Genshin
future.
says 30 is young.
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
The culprit's name is Uraka, a 16-year-old student in the Ratao's Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought
A
he looked 30
kid?
something.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
He aged
Foolish
badly
child.
then.
He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives. He,
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student
Oh,
who has
that's
been
me. I'm
underperforming in his classes.
mediocre.
He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own Professor Zaha Hadid. How can he not know who Zaha Hadid is?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing.
Should I
We don't
recognize
just
that name?
argue about
Zahi.
tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the Academia.
What the?
Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement.
So money?
And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
I can't
People
believe
make up rumors
a
all the
kid,
time.
and we caught him already.
I am quite
early on in the
confident that
quest.
Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a Mora in his life.
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
Fistfuls?
I completely
These people
understand
are
how you feel, Sir Cyrus.
Savages.
But I'm
out
afraid
here.
that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, there's no need to be childish about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay. Where does this go from here?
The Academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some
Who
old woman
said?
on the street?
Who said?
Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor.
I said. Oh my
You
gosh,
seem
can you remember that
confused.
song?
Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides,
He's also just a
I
kid.
didn't actually hand over any
dude.
Mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot worse than it is.
Everyone
All
hydrate.
it
Maybe
costs
that'll help me wake up.
is a little reputational damage. That's all.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the Academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. Their family
Oh
lives
my
in
god,
the city,
his
yes?
parents?
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often
Oh,
away
and he
on
don't
business.
got a family. Okay, I
They've
kind of feel
never
bad
taken
for him,
much
but
of an
also
active
he
role in
is
their children's lives.
so awful.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this situation is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Araka's punishment. You can hold on to the letter for now. Just make sure to return it within a couple of days.
No, no, you're
so
not
you'll
getting
be
my
able to
world
close the
request,
case in
Buster.
2 days.
We're doing this
Give or
cutscene.
take, cases like this are quick to resolve.
I can't believe we just solved that case
Very
really quickly, though.
good.
No who done it,
Thank
no
you for all your help.
Phoenix Wright or anything
Perhaps
like
we can
that.
all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
A meal.
My apologies, Sir
Is
Cyrus,
Tanari
but
coming
I have a
with us?
prior
No, I'm
commitment.
joking.
Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Ah,
I can't believe the
see.
case went by that simply.
Well, that's a pity. But Cyno, you have to come. You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that. Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment?
I knew
Bring
it.
him along,
These
too.
freaking fruit
Wait,
cakes.
you mean Tainari's in the
All
city?
of you fruit cakes.
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the Academia to help out on a project. They should be at Nephis's office at this hour. Though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?
Oop.
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way around. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tainari. I'll head over to the tavern with the Traveler and Paimon. See you there. Go on now.
Don't keep us
Keep us
waiting.
waiting.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Let me guess, Kaveh and Alhaitham are both gonna be here too. It's gonna be the Academia 4. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna be them.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hist back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They were students at the time. They'll tell you what it was like.
Look at
One
Tenari's
day.
dish. That
I was
looks
out in the forest at
huge.
least 4 days a week back then,
I
thanks
forgot
to a
Tenari has a
colossal
different
workload
voice
from
actor
Master.
now.
It wrought
He
havoc
did
on
a
my
really
poor
good job,
tail,
except
so I didn't exactly keep up to
I
date with what was going
actually
on at the
probably
Academia.
shouldn't be too much
Most of what I know,
commenting
I
too much
heard
on
from
Zachary
Cyno
Gordon
after the
anymore.
fact.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his
Unfortunately.
retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time.
Calais,
I would have happily
imagine
taken
Calais
her
in the
on as a
Academia.
student.
Look, I'm excited for
And
that.
then we'd
part.
have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Lisa's
Oh,
little
believe
helper.
me, back when she
You
was
want
a
to be
student,
Lisa's little helper?
nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Oh, don't worry about it. Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough, order some more. After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Speaking of fruitcakes, we got a
Kaveh,
fruitcake
it's been
right
a while.
here.
Zahahadi
Kaveh.
was talking about you last month. How have you been?
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet?
I really like
care to
Kave's
join us?
V-neck. Oh my gosh.
That's awfully kind
Look,
of you,
it's
but
been
I had
such
a late
long
lunch,
time
so I'm
since
not really
Kaveh
hungry
has
just yet.
been around.
I'll have dinner a little bit later
Both on
tonight.
banners and
I just
story
came to
content and
Lombard's to buy some
everything.
wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought
Let me
I'd come and
guess.
say
I
hello.
know exactly who you're getting
So
that
what's
wine
the
for.
occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Yeah, we caught up to
consolation,
somebody.
more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
I'm telling you, this man is gonna start complaining about Alhaitham right
Sounds
now.
like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
He's
I
like,
can't
"Damn, I'm
believe how
gonna
young the guy
graduate."
is. What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions.
Yeah, sure.
Their minds are still developing. It's just an unfortunate fact of life.
Man.
But still,
Did you know
this
men
boy
don't fully
has
develop
some
their brains
nerve.
until they're like
Just
30?
look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
Yeah, so
If this were
creepy,
my
isn't
son, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
it? Oh.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kaveh! Your order's ready, sir!
Oh my god, that was so aggressive.
Coming.
Kaveh.
I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all another
I'm
time.
telling you, this man is getting
Okay,
wine.
bye-bye.
Either he's gonna have a big drinking night and get drunk,
Here I am.
or he's gonna
The
have
coffee
wine
beans
with...
are in here too.
Let me guess. I know exactly who
Yep,
you're getting
it's
that
all
coffee
there.
for.
I'll stop babbling away now.
I know what
Let's
you are.
eat before the food gets cold.
I know a fruitcake when I see one. Luckily, it's all hot and you enjoy a delicious celebratory meal after a crazy day. Well, now what? Like bouncing everywhere.
Ooh.
Oh, too tasty. Paimon's belly is about to explode.
Oh, mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn some of it off.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus.
Master Tighnari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
It's so sweet seeing the SUMERU
I'll see you all
Academia
later.
cast.
I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those
I want
tomatoes
Cole
keep you
to
up
get
too
a
late.
hangout.
Hey, my tomatoes
But I
are
think
serious
Cole's
business.
story is pretty much
I am
done.
not about to be beaten
Unless
by
if we encounter
Mahadi.
Dotori again. Oh
Anyway,
no.
I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care. Have a safe trip
Take
home.
care, old man.
All right. Now,
Cyno,
we
how do you
finally have
stand
some
walking
us time.
around on your toes?
What do you mean, us time?
Well, I was talking
Like, I
with
don't know how to
Tighnari and
describe
Kale, and since we all have some free time,
Cyno, how do your
we
feet
thought we
not
could all
kill
go
you
camping
right now?
together. Think of it as our way of welcoming you back to SUMERU.
You're out here walking like Clara.
Camping? Oh, that sounds fun. Paimon's in.
Time to show off my tent pitching
Wait,
skills.
no, that's my job.
There's
Don't
so
take
many
it away
jokes
from
I
me.
could make about that.
Why don't you and Paimon help out Master
I won't be
Cyno?
making those jokes, but
You
no, I
don't
really
have
want
to play
to.
the hero when you're out with us. This is your chance to just,
You
laze
know,
around and switch
Cole,
out for a bit.
you are the best
Everyone,
SUMERU person.
Let's meet tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank to
Literally,
the southeast of Gandharvaville.
I love
No need to
not
bring
being
anything.
told to freaking
We've already
schlep
packed
or
everything for
anything
the
like that.
trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it. We'll be there.
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
We finished the first part. Okay, 1400. What do we do after this? I guess we're gonna go meet up with the old man again. Oh no, we're having our camping trip to Doi.
Time to
Let's-
set off. Let's head to
Let's
the
have a
southeast of
cool little
Gandharvaville and meet up
camping
with
trip.
the others.
What can possibly go wrong? And I forgot how far away Gandharvaville actually is. Hello? Hello? I kind of want Rice Lee's coat. Not the... I want the one that's hanging off of him.
We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game.
Wow.
You set up the tents already.
Wait, wasn't the last time we were out here in a tent, we were passed out in the
I'd
dream
say we're
realm?
right about on schedule, actually. We were aiming to have them
that was
set
so
up before
scary.
you arrived.
That was really
Traveler,
scary.
Paimon, let's go fishing together.
Okay.
Whatever we catch, we can grill for dinner tonight.
You got it. Dinner's on us tonight.
I hope I can contribute too. The other forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a
Excuse me
little
for the
while ago.
Yawning,
really
y'all.
looking
I'm
forward
trying-
to
I'm
giving
so
them a try.
sleepy today.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us.
Just a few.
I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go. They think of everything. And even if they don't, they can improvise.
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So, how has everything been going for you?
Do you even want to... Actually, you know what's funny? Is this technically takes place after SUMERU. You don't even have to think about Fontaine, really, here.
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable experiences
But yeah, they're being
along
very
the way.
intentionally vague about where this is.
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a valberry. I bought some from the market this morning.
A valuable
A
suggestion.
valuable-
Just don't bury your feelings using food.
I have no words. Cringe.
All I wanted was to recommend something bittersweet.
Oh, I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
She sure made a run for it.
She did make a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a run for it.
Why didn't they voice either?
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. Could it be she foresaw what shall soon come to pass? My dear
What?
friend, you know what I am about to say.
No! Cyno, I literally refuse to touch that game mode. No.
Oh, drat. A flat-out rejection.
I should have learned from
But
her.
this isn't over. It's only a matter of time before I challenge you
If
again.
I have to fight him, y'all,
So
I still
be
have the
ready.
basic deck.
Ugh, this guy. Somebody make it stop.
Girl, if I could uninstall Genius Invocation from my Genshin to save some data, I would. I literally would do it in a heartbeat. Birds chirping away, the soothing sound of running water. This is nice. No agenda. Just relax. You know, for like 5 seconds.
We got a bite!
We were fishing?
I'll reel it in.
I forgot we were fishing already, y'all. My brain is all over the place today.
Firewood, spices,
Firewood.
snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets back, we can light up the fire and start grilling.
It's nighttime. Look how fast the moon moved there. I never get over that. So silly looking. This is so relaxing. Oh, look at Ether's smile. His smile.
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left?
Fine. If you're not gonna let me
just
choose.
thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your
Imagine
tent.
if you accidentally eat one.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent.
You mean
Then
like
this
what he
tent will
did
be an
last
impenetrable
story quest?
fortress.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue?
Always.
Oh, I thought we were being watched for a second. I thought something was gonna be peeking from back there.
Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Someone sure is desperate to eat.
I'm trying to convince myself I'm not hungry.
I think it's time to add the seasoning.
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks?
Hey, if it works for steak,
Girl,
maybe it works for other
Paimon,
things too.
you don't season your
Medium well
food.
for me.
You don't
Okay,
season
these are
your
about ready now then.
food.
It'll be a few more
Oh,
minutes for anyone who wants
no.
theirs
I'm
well done.
digging in.
Oh, that was so delicious. If
I'm that weirdo
Paimon's
that
stomach
prefers
had
well done, though.
space,
I'm very
she'd eat
paranoid
3
about
more
not having
skewers.
cooked meat.
I ate a lot too.
Undercooked meat would
Here
literally
comes the
disgust
food
me so
coma.
bad.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight, I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will
No,
take place
we are
another
not
day.
fighting. Never.
Good
Clay is
night.
like, I'm gonna go sleep. No, not getting involved.
Paimon's struggling
No,
to keep
don't
her
yawn
eyes
because then
open.
I'll yawn.
Oh, don't forget this. The staff of the
Look at
Scarlet
that
Sails.
art.
Wait,
Ooh,
you were
that's
actually
very
being
good
serious
art.
about that?
It's a very powerful weapon.
Yes, sir, and it's
Try
a
it.
very ugly
Paimon
weapon.
can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough.
Not pretty.
You
at
sure you
all.
don't want it?
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Let's not forget to have my own trusty sword.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
Hmm.
But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well, and sweet dreams.
The camping trip has really relaxed me. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. In peace and tranquility of the forest, nature's warm embrace lulls you into restful sleep. However,
I think they should all be here. Traveler? Paimon? Are you in there? Could you come outside for a sec?
Look at this.
wait, what are y'all doing here?
What the? What's this sword doing here?
What are y'all doing?
Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
I like the painting of them. Look at
Evidently.
Alhaitham's arm.
Huh? Who is it?
What are y'all
Oh, what
doing
time do you
here?
call this?
Y'all just having a... Are y'all trying to cruise in the forest in the middle of the night?
Paimon's gonna take out the sword.
Not them cruising. You're going back to
Alhaitham,
sleep.
Kaveh, what are you doing here?
What are
It's the middle
these?
of the night.
I don't even know what to call them anymore.
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
Did you go looking
Let's get
for
dressed
us?
and talk about it outside.
What are y'all doing here?
Something has come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to
You
inform you
all,
all.
it was that important that you
Whoa,
came out
whoa,
to the
back up.
forest?
Let's start from the beginning.
Oh lord. The cutscene. Or is this a flashback? It's a black screen.
Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them.
It's Alhaitham's house.
Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Oh, they're being domestic?
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They're being domestic? Hoyoverse even took the time to emphasize that they were being domestic.
They are. And so are the fruits.
This is how I win, y'all. You mean y'all? Y'all are the
Oh,
fruits?
this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Hehe.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening. When
Literally,
I went to the
the way
tavern
they
to pick
talk
up
to
some
each
things.
other, they're so
He was hosting a dinner for
domestic.
Cyno,
It just brings me
Tighnari,
so much
Kale,
joy.
and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
Lombard's new vintage?
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
In what?
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million mora.
How ironic,
I
Kaveh.
heard
You
some
also
people
got
talking about it on the
extorted.
streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The
Is
sages
it
are probably
really the
dealing with the
corporate
case by now.
culprit, though? I'll hate them. Is it
I
really?
wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this
Oh,
beautiful
this is the
pattern on
plot
it that I've never
twist,
seen before.
I'll hate
Really
them's gonna
caught my
see it and be
eye.
like, wait a minute.
Give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you.
Kaveh's just gonna casually... Look how passionate Kaveh is talking to Alhaitham about it. He freaking he remembers the picture too and is gonna draw it.
Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got it from.
God knows.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
Wait,
What? Really?
I guess, was that academia
Take
student
this
from
for
the
instance.
desert?
Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces.
With Kaveh sitting
And
on the table
crisscrossing
in
mirror
front of him.
here. I recognize that
'Cause
too.
he doesn't want to sit next to Alhaitham.
It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem, one that hasn't been used in a very
Look, I'm
long
winning
time.
as a Kavetham shipper.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the
Emblem of severed fate.
of the
No, I'm
Temple of
kidding.
Silence.
So, what did y'all learn from that?
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right. So we went looking for
Y'all
you.
came all the way out to the
This was a long way to
in
come from the city.
Gandharvaville.
Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal
Wait,
with the
so where
emblem
did
you
he
were talking
go?
about? The Temple of Silence, you said?
And he
What is
doesn't
that?
have his
Should we be
spear. Actually,
Is everything okay? Give me a second. Let me get Kale.
I think Cyrus is in danger.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed
You know
in
what he
Sumeru
sounded
for
like? He
over
sounded like those
1,000
characters
years.
from Zero Escape.
These days, you can find a Temple
What do
of
you mean you
Silence
don't
office in
know
the
about
Academia.
liquid nitrogen?
Theoretically,
Or
it's responsible for the
liquid,
custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public
Liquid
dissemination.
glycerin.
At
solid
least,
glycerin.
that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret and the greatest of all sages.
It sounds like
Most of the
Anubis.
organization's members hailed from the desert. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If only you
If
stayed
you're
sage a
asking me
bit
whether I
longer.
familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
That is a very
So
I'll hate
much
them
about this doesn't make
response.
sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an Academia student to
Maybe
Cyrus?
because the academia
Student's only
student didn't make
16
the letter.
and doesn't have any family ties to the desert.
Oh,
So
he
where could he have
doesn't?
seen that emblem
Oh.
or gotten the paper?
You said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told
I
us?
think that's where
Yep.
you went off to.
He ran off as soon as he heard what
Oh,
we said.
yep.
Given that
probably went
Cyrus
to
is
see
involved,
Cyrus.
he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
Look at Kaveh and Alhaitham's capes.
If the Academia's Temple of
They're
Silence
waving
really does
together.
exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good. It's sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there.
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence,
Alhaitham,
the
you're
emblem
breathing
has to be
so
part of a
hard.
bigger conspiracy.
Kale,
Sorry, that's
could
all
I
I
trouble
got
you
out
to
of
send
that
a
line, I'm
message to the core
sorry.
of 30? Tell them to
We need
keep
to
an
go
eye
save
out for Cyno and
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me. We'll go
I'm
after
sorry,
Cyno.
I'm a DJ.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Did I finish my dailies? Oh my gosh. Did I finish my dailies? Yes. Let me go claim my rewards too. Look, I got my dailies to work on. Catherine. Add Astra.
Add Astra.
Task.
Thank you for
Just give me my gems. Hello.
Here we are. This is the place.
Huh, we might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast.
How do
if
you
he
tell
was
that
here,
nobody's
he's
home?
probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is
Zaha
that
Hadid.
Kainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zaha Hadid!
It's you,
Wow.
old lady.
So it really
Wait,
is
I think we
you.
met her during Kave's
My
hangout.
goodness. Whatever is
think.
going on tonight?
We're looking for Cyno.
Or-
So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all. I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Mm-hmm.
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
He only reported it because Cyno forced him to, which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of Silence.
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in?
He really
Oh,
screwed up, huh?
I do hope he's not in danger.
He is very
Oh,
much in danger.
I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to
Oh,
pass
you
on to
know,
you.
hey, I
He wrote
almost
it when he
forgot this
came
really
by
important
earlier.
letter of Cyno
He
saying his
realized you
thoughts
might
to
come
you.
looking for him.
Thank you.
These SUMERU
What's it
people are
say?
so
Let Paimon take a
big-brained. Rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I said you understand the scope that I had to act alone on this stage. Don't come after me. What do you
My
mean?
friends,
Don't come
this
after
is a
me.
rather
We're going
complicated state of
literally right
affair.
after you.
Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
So up here. Oh girl, I literally forgot how to get back into the House of Dana. Y'all. Oh no. Please let it be super easy to get back into the House of Dana. How hard is it to get back into the House of Dana? Why do they put the... Why do they teleport you there when it's faster to take this teleporter? I don't understand SUMERU's teleporters half the time, y'all. It's so dumb. You literally would have been better off taking the one back there. Imagine doing content in this game. You fruits.
You're here?
God,
I
y'all are
thought you were going after...
inseparable.
Ah, I guess you lost their trail.
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there.
Look,
Cyno got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we
I
arrived.
cannot believe Kaveh
He didn't
and I'll
say
hate
where he
them
was
are
going?
carrying this quest for
No,
me.
he left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
Tanari shares what you learned from Zahahadi.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this
From
time.
memory, his photographic memory is ridiculous. Huh?
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the
Ew,
only one
imagine
with a
looking
record
over
of the
all
motif.
these books.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met
A
in the
young
tavern over a game
man?
of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business
wonder.
as part of a merchant caravan.
Is
Uraka was
this
intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance
the
had to
new
say
guy?
and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with
I
it,
think it might be
then handed him some
Santos.
pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and
could
Arav have gone to meet the
Sethos
Core of
be? It
30
has to
and
be
review the
Sethos.
city's entry and exit records.
It has to be. I'm
Also,
telling y'all. My brain
Nephis
is
admitted
telling
that
me.
the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia. But, as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt
Girl,
and
we
foolish.
been knew the sages
The
been
Temple
foolish.
of Silence
That's why you
felt
don't
that they
work
could no
with them,
longer
with
trust the
them.
Academia and ended
That's
the
why you don't want to be
partnership.
the acting leader.
They retreated back to the
anymore.
desert about 400 years ago. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout
So they are
SUMERU,
very much desert
sequestering and
people
guarding
through and
any
through.
wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
This place
Not only that,
loves
but they managed to
brainwashing.
keep up the charade
No,
for hundreds
even
of years.
yeah, hundreds of years.
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Really?
The boyfriend
Are
has
you sure
to
that's a
save
good
each
idea
other.
with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
Tanari, no.
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
I forget we technically have never met Nafis
It's
in
a pleasure
person.
to meet you,
This
Traveler
looks
in
so
Paimon.
silly.
Several independent eyewitnesses have reported seeing
looks
Cyrus
so
and Mahamatra
silly.
Cyno leaving the city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebot. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Core of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective. Now is the time for action.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands, and... everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
I can't take this cutscene seriously because of his big old eyes, y'all. I'm sorry.
Help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
I can't take it seriously.
Wonderful. You have my most sincere gratitude.
I know Cyrus and Cyno are both in very much
Arav and I will
danger,
continue to follow up
but-
on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Alhaitham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tainari, you are planning to go into the desert, correct?
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and Alhaitham.
Well, if you're sure. Okay. But be careful.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But we still have a shot. Let's take it.
We'll catch up to him easy. Okay, we finally finished part 2. So part 3, okay. Go to Caravan Rebot. Footprints underneath the sands. Girl, we're gonna have to go on a giant goose chase for Cyno, aren't we?
Okay, we made it to Caravan Rebot. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over there.
Dehya? Dehya?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day,
We got the
but
whole desert
still.
crew here.
It's not my first time. I'll be fine.
Cyno.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice.
Her voice is so
When you're
good.
packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
You're not alone,
Nothing
Cyno.
personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather
I
not
wonder
involve
how
anyone
much
else if I can
Cyno
help
knows
it.
about the Temple of Silence himself.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno
I
chasing them
wonder if
all
he has
the way
a
out to
history
Caravan
with
Rebot.
whoever this true culprit is.
But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dehya, the best sapphic in this game.
Dia
I
and
don't know about the,
Candace!
look, her
So
story
nice to
quest
see you.
was still probably
Actually,
the best.
seeing all of our friends is the whole
The best
reason we're
Sumeru
here.
one. I don't
You're
know about the
looking well.
best, but
I'm
it's
glad to
super
see it.
good.
Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Cyno, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. But let us know how we can support you. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right, he'll be doing everything he can to avoid us.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid.
Everything.
From what she said, it's pretty clear that he wants to try and solve this on his own. It won't be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than we imagined.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Ah, come on. No need to get all
A round of
serious.
drinks, that's
Just
a very
buy a round
Dehya
of drinks
thing to
next
say.
time we're all in the city or something.
That's a deal.
All right, so, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, We'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
I hope Dunyazard is well. I hope your lady's well, Dehya.
Cyno should count himself lucky that the Traveler and Tainari got here when they did. What was he thinking, trying to play the lone hero?
The desert tests the
Yeah, the
character of
serious
all who
Cyno is
enter
the
it,
one I'm used to,
and only
y'all. The
those with
goofy
wisdom
one
and courage shall prevail.
that we knew.
But take heart.
You know what I just
With his companions
realized?
by his side, no harm will come to Cyno.
This quest might actually dig into some Cyno background. Because, I don't know, I talked about being disappointed in Cyno a bit during his first story quest, but I feel like the second story quest might actually be a redemption arc for him, y'all. Like, maybe... I don't know how to describe it, but I remember being disappointed with Cyno's first story quest.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to
This
clear up.
might dig into some Cyno
Go on.
lore that I wanted to hear.
So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the Academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power.
Yes, sir.
Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence.
Oh, that's right.
Due to
Anubis is
my
like his
unique
name.
constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to SUMERU City. But my
They
memory of
talked
that
about
time
this a
is
little
hazy.
bit too during the
I can't recall much.
Mondstadt event.
It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter.
All the
Without
way
that,
back in 3.6,
I don't know if
I
we would have
think.
connected the dots
3.7.
and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard to say.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he
Alhaitham
wouldn't have
shouldn't
had any
quit,
qualms about
but
you
also I guess
reporting
I
it.
don't blame him for not wanting to work.
Oh, maybe his connection to the
blame him.
Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going into any depth.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you, you're stuck with us for the rest of the way.
I am aware. And I
better
have
be
accepted
aware.
it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route. So, I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not. So the best option now is to try to look out for each other. Ha!
You can't get rid
Fair
of
enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Hello.
Mahamatra Cyno?
Hello.
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru village.
Cyno describes Iris's appearance.
A man matching that description passed by Aru village not too long ago. He stopped by to load
had
up
a
on food and water and
Sumpter
feed his sumpter beast. Then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water.
You know, just
He
a
said
random
he was
oasis.
headed
You know who would help us right now?
somewhere near
Jet.
an oasis.
Actually, no,
But
seriously,
he
Jet
didn't
might
mention
be
which
that much
one.
help. I just miss
Do you
Jet
have a
lot,
map?
You guys,
I can
miss
mark out the
Jet.
direction he was heading and the best routes to any
Jet
nearby
deserves
oases.
so much more
I have one.
story.
Mark away.
One day we'll
Great.
reunite with Jet, but not today.
There you go.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good memory.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
It's the oasis team searching for clues. I'm so sorry in case people are getting mad that I've ignored puzzles and chests around here, because I did, and I really do not care. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't log into Genshin much, and I'd rather use what little time I log in to do the story, which is why we're here now. See,
They say there's nothing new under the sun, but somehow a picnic in the warm sunshine never gets...
Oh my gosh, is Brysley dead? Can't believe they put me to a cutscene.
Hold on. I see some people over there.
It's you!
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
It has to be him.
Should be.
It should be
I'll go.
Senthos.
No. I'll do it.
Scott, hello. Welcome to stream. Happy Windusy.
Why can't Cyno go talk to them? What
I
difference
think
does it make?
these desert people have beef with Cyno.
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here.
Don't let them look at you,
Just
Cyno.
in case, it's probably better to let a more neutral party handle things.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly man who's gone missing around these parts. Any chance I could ask you a couple of questions?
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
His voice is so goofy.
I'm just wondering if
Wait,
you've seen him.
Look for a vision. Yo,
Let me
look
give
for
you
his
the
vision.
details.
What element is he? Is he fire? I think he's fire. I feel like he's fire. Look for his vision.
Silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
His voice is so smug.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we
Cyno,
saw
he's
him.
looking you.
He's looking behind me.
I'm talking about the dude literally we're talking to in this cutscene. This guy, Scott. He was looking at Cyno.
That guy's looking our way.
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too.
Yeah, he sure does, doesn't he? If only he hit himself.
Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General
He's
Mahamatra?
Electro!
Yes,
I saw
that's
his
me.
vision. It was purple.
You don't seem surprised that I
it's
recognized
right
you.
there. Right next to my webcam. I love that I saw it right before you said that in chat, Scott. But yes, Senthos is indeed Electro.
It wouldn't be the first time.
I forgot about his drip
you're
marketing.
The one
Did he get
looking
drip
for the
marketed?
old man who's gone missing.
He hasn't been. Did he
Aren't
get,
you?
I forgot if he got drip
I have
marketed.
a bad feeling about this guy.
I know Siegeween and Clorinde got drip marketed.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us.
An Electro
Still,
boy.
you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was
I wonder if he's
mistaken.
gonna use Bond of Life mechanics.
Your
later.
henchmen
We'll
don't
see
look
what he
like
does.
much. But something tells
He
me
has
they put up a better
henchmen?
fight than most mercenaries.
Those are his henchmen?
Hey, hear that, guys? You're my henchman now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already.
So they
I'm
are
running out of
mercenaries.
all right.
Who are you? Really
Come with me.
Those.
All of you. Don't you want to find your friend?
You took him!
Silver-haired, long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes.
Cyno was all right
Sounds
about
like there's
you.
a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't know about.
So you know where he is?
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
Wait, let me grab that photo. Wait, yeah, let me take this photo. Look at this graph. I love how they just purposely name him question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, cutscene.
And here.
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
Please step back.
Ooh, something's coming out of the ground.
It's a domain door.
What is this enormous building doing here?
Is that the Temple of Silence?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so... Hold on, who are you guys really?
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll
All
be plenty
good
of time to address
questions,
them later.
Do I know where Natlan is supposed to be? I do know where Natlan is supposed to be. The girl, it's supposed to be like right down here, right? Somewhere over here, here or here. I know, there's no way this is Natlan. I'm pretty sure Natlan is this area. And then over here is not Blackcliff Forge. I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be Natlan. Here or here? No, I thought west was just more desert. Then what's this down here? This better be. I'm pretty sure this to here than to here is Natlan. And then this is probably more Fontaine or more SUMERU, who knows? And then over here, for sure, without a doubt, is Nesnaya. And over here is supposed to be more Mondstadt. Anyway, is this not a domain? Why did it put me into a domain select?
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the
this
desert.
reminds me of the
Especially
Jet
not hidden right next
Quest.
to an oasis.
This literally reminds me of the first Jet
I'm
Quest.
scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy Rocca met in the tavern?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
Whoever voices the Sethos is
I
having
just
such a
hope
good
for your
time.
sake you haven't done anything you might regret.
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath.
I just remembered Cyno's Electro and Setho is his Electro too. They're both actually dressed really similarly if you look at their colors. Makes me wish I had my Cyno leveled so I could compare. I'm not worried, look. I'm not gonna think too hard about Natlan because we don't know jack about Natlan. So I'm just gonna wait until the game gives us the info we want. We don't know jack. And they still, even though Natlan is 12 weeks away, we don't know jack really about it. Like, I'm scared that they just don't have Natlan ready at this freaking point.
Alright, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
Excuse me for the yawning.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
Maybe you're gonna
They
summon
can't have been at the
monsters.
Oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us
The
showing
leader
up.
is definitely that kid.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
That was a quick
Don't
conversation.
worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
At least tell us what to call you.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves.
Yep. I
You
mean,
know, maybe
I'm
blow
not
up
worried
the
about you
temple.
running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
You're all very quite anxious.
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Girl, wait for a bit and talk to everyone. What are you two cooking?
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but never noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous.
Miraculous
Amazing to think that it's been
ladybug.
preserved intact all
No,
this
I'm
time.
joking.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and sound, so that's something.
Who else can we talk to? Sethos?
Hey, Sethos! Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors.
So you're the one who tricked Uraka?
Yes, that was me. Although tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. It didn't say what secret that was.
But you told him to use that word.
Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really.
But
very
you
cooperative
pretty much
with a
screwed
little
him
bit of
over.
lying in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait.
Do you know Cyno?
What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in SUMERU knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say...
I just realized that these two are supposed to be Anubis and
Why
Seth.
does Paimon feel like this guy's not being straight with us?
Oh no, that's
Come on.
Kaveh and Alhaitham.
We've only
who aren't
just
being
met.
straight.
If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Have you ever been to the academia?
Nope. Not once.
Anubis, Seth.
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place.
Are you saying you have spies inside the city?
Spies?
His eyes are everywhere.
It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
Fine, if you're gonna be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Sethos' voice is very good. Cyrus's voice is okay. But I really like Sethos' voice.
Here he is.
For a second, he? I was like, he? Who are you? Some random lady. Hello? Someone's behind us? Oh, I thought someone was behind us. What were those legs that we just passed? We passed by a pair of legs. That was weird. Oh, it's just people.
Grandfather, the person you wish to see is
Grandfather.
Well done, Sethos.
Old man.
Greetings, one and all.
He old.
I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him out.
So what did Cyrus do?
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Oh, they done tied you up.
Watch what you're
it's like
doing.
Toma.
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us. We had to find a way to bring him back to us. Cyrus owes me his life, and to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time ago, but now, the time has come to demand payment.
Is this old man Yowie?
I wanted to
Am
end
I
my
witnessing
feud
old
with this
man
old
Yowie?
bag of bones before you caught up with me. But you got here so quickly.
I'm witnessing old man Yowie.
Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us
Dang.
two old men.
See,
You're
I
all
knew
too
it.
young to
I
get
knew it.
involved.
That literally. What
So
did I just
that's why
say?
you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you, No matter what you do.
Yeah, I can get
shouldn't
though
have
if you're a
come.
DILF enjoyer, old
Let
man
alone
enjoyer.
brought the others.
That you would like
Cyno
Cyrus's
didn't
voice.
make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did. To rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you?
Thanks for
You
the
can't
Twitch
bring
affiliate
yourself to speak of
anniversary
your past deeds to
message.
the students you nurtured as
Happy
if they were
Windusy.
your own children. You recognized our emblem because
Happy
for many
anniversary.
years
We're
you lived
witnessing
among
old
us.
man Yowie.
Indeed, you all but became one of us.
That's so funny
You
that we have the
knew
same
as soon as you
anniversary.
saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring
they
new
were
hope,
gonna
new
revive
opportunity.
Anubis?
But then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power. We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will
I'm
catch up
literally
with you.
witnessing old
And when
man
that
Yowie.
day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Genshin's boss OST is really good.
Hermanubis' might
We might be listening to a
and the
boss
wielder
OST
of
in a
his
moment
power?
here.
Does he mean you?
Did he take Cyno
Professor,
as a baby from
Anything
here?
to say?
The moon is right. I came here once
So
before.
Cyno was from here? Cyno
He
was
rescued
part of the
me
Temple of
on the
Silence?
brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together. It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis for too long. The strength of its faith and its warriors were waning. Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies
And
of
let me guess, the
suitable
one
vessels.
vessel,
If the experiment was
vessel that
successful,
managed to survive?
the spirit of Hermanubis
This reminds me of
did
Collet,
dwell
actually,
within
because
the
Collet went through the
vessel.
exact same thing. The one experiment that
Many believers
lived.
volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents
Wait,
agreed
it
to
was
release
both
him
of
into
them?
our custody
Cyno
in
and
exchange
Sethos.
for a small fortune. These two children were our only hope for hosting Hermanubis' power.
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony, and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment. Resonance,
Girl, I do not need to know the
implantation,
whole
and
scientific
recovery
paper.
and
Just tell us
observation.
what happened.
The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the first round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate, and be
I don't
gone
want to
from the
know
world
what they
for
mean by
good.
implant.
Our two vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single fragment.
Ultimately, I ended the experiment and left.
And that
taking
child
one of
was
the children
Cyno.
with me.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
That means Xanthos
Look,
should have the
in
power
essence,
too.
I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now anyway. But you cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then,
He was just
when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord.
I'm surprised
You
Cyno
and
doesn't
he,
remember any of
Xanthos.
this.
You were our final hope.
How little were they?
You'd like me to return my power?
They must
As a
have been little
follower of
lads,
Hermanubis,
little
I have
lads.
allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You
That's a
cannot
really interesting
take what they
thing to
have
say, chosen by the
bestowed.
gods, because that's
You are wrong.
what visions are in Genshin.
Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only
I don't know
one.
Egyptian
My
lore. I don't know
child,
anything
Xanthos,
about the
has
lore
the same
behind
gift as
Anubis and
he.
stuff.
So those are your terms
know
for freeing
much
the
at all.
professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the Temple's glory has waned. And now I must take responsibility for the decision I made.
Maybe it's time for y'all to
So
to
what you're
dip from
saying
this
is
temple.
the power of one Ba
Maybe
fragment
I'm
is not
too
enough?
simplistic.
You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Xanthos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear. And your objections mean little, given that you turned your back on
I
us
feel like
long
one of these
ago.
old men are gonna die.
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take. You have to understand.
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then there is nothing to debate.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Sorry
in
to
my
interrupt,
view, there are a number of contentions here
Tsunade.
that still need addressing. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then we are at an impasse.
Are we gonna
find
fight?
It hard to
Are we gonna
believe
throw
that you went to
hands?
all this effort without planning for
We're gonna
that
throw
possibility.
hands.
You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table.
Tsunade
Then
is here
we
to
can have
defend
a
his
discussion.
BF.
Wait, those ears. So, we have
Oh
a
yeah,
descendant
Tsunade
of
is
the Valuka
technically a
Shuna
descendant
in our
of the
midst.
desert people as well.
Splendid.
I think.
Fate smiles upon us after all. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide.
Old man,
Perhaps
you are
this very
delulu.
day, we...
He fell over? Oh. Oh, he done fell over. Yo, Grandpapa.
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in
I think
really
he's in
bad
his
shape.
last days, Paimon. Moon's condition is critical. His eyesight must be failing him too, otherwise he might have noticed Tenadi's ears right away.
Moon, you...
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos.
Oh, he is so old.
Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands. I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill.
Excuse me?
So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition.
That the temple is indeed
So I'm
lost
not
its
going to
glory
force
with the
your
old
hand.
man.
You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better, and things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tighnari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this, and I agree. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to be. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works.
What are you gonna do, Cyno?
Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict, Cyno. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus.
A few mean words. A few
I'll
mean
be
words for
escorting
old
him
man
back now.
Yowie.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then,
let's chill in
take
this
some time for
creepy
yourself.
temple with awful
All right,
ventilation.
well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any
I
help
would not want to
working
be in
things
here,
out,
y'all.
just
Like,
come and
imagine
find
how
us.
bad the ventilation must be. Ugh. Could not even breathe. Okay, let's see. Is it? Oh wait, I just need to make it nighttime. There we go. Girl, is it? I already made it nighttime. There. Talk things over with your companions. Run, Ricely, so that I can look at your, cape. Yeah, cape. Let's go with that. That's totally what I meant, guys. The group gathers again at the agreed time.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and
since
fevers
you
as
were
a child.
child?
I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces. I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
Don't make any rash decisions, Cyno.
No. I have no intention of returning
scared.
it. I need this power to protect SUMERU. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. So I will challenge them head-on, and win the right to wield this
You're
power
gonna
for
throw
myself,
hands?
fair and square.
You're gonna throw hands.
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that
miss
the
Alhaitham
Temple
and
of
Kaveh,
Silence
you
was
guys.
originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally, such organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
Yeah, sure. Surely what can possibly go wrong with this plan, you guys? I'm kind of wondering, y'all, should I be looking for treasure? Or do you think there's no treasure in here? I think this area is going to be one time only. Like, once we finish the quest, we won't be able to come back in here. I hope there isn't, like, treasure I'm missing. Show me the cutscene.
Sethos, let's talk.
Hello.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your grandfather?
Yeah, sure.
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Tanani's a genius.
Only one way to find out.
Follow me. Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
Old man.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy
I
burden
wonder
of
what
work and
injured
now
him.
by the effects of old age. Regretfully, I must inform you that based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left.
He
A few
gonna
days at
die.
most.
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it. That's what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from.
Really?
I accept, Cyno.
It's because the younger
This
generation.
all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred
I
with the
remember
city's
I had
residents.
the worst time
He
pronouncing
and his two
Tuletula
companions proved their
during
mettle by fighting
Jet's
over
Quest.
several days,
Y'all, I remember
winning the support of many
I remember that
fine
word specifically during Jet's Quest and being like, how the hell do I say that? Tuletula?
That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites, the rite of duels. It's where it all began.
Sounds very fitting. I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite.
Look,
3 against 3.
I am
Sounds
all
good.
for it.
However,
I'm all for the fighting.
I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line.
Nah,
The winner
Sethos, you're a playable
takes them
character.
both.
That means you're not gonna lose your fragment.
Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
None needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus, and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal.
Cyno
Then let's meet
is
at the ceremonial
literally
hall
got
tomorrow
this.
evening,
Duh, he's
8
fine.
o'clock.
Talk to Cyno. Oh, old man is knocked out. Can't even talk to him.
I'm really looking forward to this rite of duels. It'll be one for the ages, not just for the sake of the Ba fragments.
Not me talking to him on the old
for
man's
many other
bed.
people
This
as
is
well.
really bad, by the way. I don't know who in their right mind would sit on this. Maybe Tifa. No, I think Tifa prefers soft mattress. Does anyone like sleeping on a really like hard board fragment, plywood?
Well, after how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There's really no turning back now. Why did my
There
autoplay
never was.
stop?
Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra and for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child. Surely that's a sign it thinks of you as its rightful owner.
Yeah.
Both as General Mahamatra and for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself. Not everyone could have done that.
Exactly.
We'll help you, Cyno.
The Traveler and I
Look,
will never lose.
Talking long cutscenes may wear me out, but
And
combat
neither shall
sequences, I am all about
The desert was
combat.
home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
Ooh, wait until the next day. We're gonna have to fight, you guys. I'm scared. He mentioned that you three will be fighting. So I assume that Cyno, and Tenati? Are we gonna have a trial Tenati? Go to the ceremonial hall. I assume we're gonna fight a Cyno and Tenati. And possibly even Ether as well. Risley, get your big dumpy over there.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years.
But he gonna die.
I am surprised by your decision.
Oh man, I'm telling you, he's not surviving this quest.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists.
Oh, girl.
Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
I guess I'm going first.
Are you sure?
I agree. He's
I
very
assume
strong.
they're gonna give me a trial.
Sending him out
Ether,
first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
Yep, it is I. Leave it to me.
Don't forget, safety first.
Wait, I thought it was Hydro Ether.
You there!
Come
You
here, come here,
better
come
play nice with them, or Paimon will make you regret
Boom.
it.
Boom,
A little
start
bit
blooming.
too much chatter from the audience over there.
Hey!
Girl, I'm miserable. Come on, eat some Dendro.
Yeah, scatter!
Did I win? Why did they summon mushrooms? Did I win? Yeah, I won.
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the
I wish they
duelist of
kept
the
playing
second
combat.
bout
Imagine
to
if they played
please
combat
step
music
forward.
throughout the whole thing. I think it
When
would
you're
have been way
both
better.
ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Am I gonna play Tenati?
Watch out!
Oh, girl, I'm playing Tenati.
He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
Girl!
One with the force. I hear everything.
I hear everything. Start blooming. Yes. Start blooming. Oh my god. Start blooming right now.
Can't see? I'll uproot you!
Oh, we need to use Dendro. Girl, why is it infused with Dendro? Oh, I can't do anything. Oh, I won. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how to play Tenati. Don't look at me.
Thus ends the second bout.
That's so weird that they made me Dendro Traveler. I guess it's because it's possible to do this quest before you even step foot into Fontaine.
I'm ready.
That was so weird.
So am I.
This
music
is the
is cool.
final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready, you may begin.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamoon.
I just
the
realized these
leader
two are
of
basically
the Temple
adopted
of
brothers.
Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment so that we might prevail. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power,
Not the
longing to
freaking
see
hand
his
pose.
spirit
That's the
and his
Komaeda
light
hand pose.
descend upon us. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
I am Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spantamad. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you, I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching.
No, you don't mess
So
with
bare
Cyno.
your soul.
Cyno's the one that means business here.
Old and young, fit and frail. They're all
I'm the
waiting
frail one, y'all.
to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler
Girl,
who
are
is
y'all
not
gonna
afraid
fight
to
or
get
y'all
blood
gonna have
on
a
his
debate?
hands. But our faith has held us back for too long.
I know, they're trying to
After
have a
I
hype
grew up,
anime fight
I went to
scene
the
here, and this is supposed to be
rainforest
like the
once,
build-up. There's probably gonna be a
and I saw
cutscene
for
between these
myself
two.
the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of SUMERU are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest
Yeah, I
points
think a
in the
cinematic.
city,
I think that's the proper
gazing
word.
down at the streets
I keep
below.
calling it a cutscene.
Then
It's
I
gonna be
thought
a
of you,
cinematic that
Cyno.
plays.
You and I both wield the same power, but the lives we lead could not be more different.
This would be a really good cinematic
Each bar
scene.
fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Cyno. Show me I can be more than my faith, more than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become.
Literally anime build up.
Bring it on!
Is it a cinematic? It is! Look at them! He has Cyno's powers too! It looks a little different from his though, just a little. It's like white. Yeah, see, like Cyno's is dark purple and Sethos is white. Well, this is, you know, I wish Genshin would do more fight scenes. I really wish, but this is probably
That's
too
all you've
expensive
got.
for them to make.
What happened is searching for your answer.
Literally, it's such a shame because I wish the Genshin anime would feature scenes like this. I hope it will, because this is just it was so cool to witness. Why did they both turn off their powers? That was really weird. Shing shing! Uh-oh.
Fight's over.
You done lost.
Do you yield?
You won.
You won. That was
Well
a
then.
crazy finale.
Looks
there.
like you found your
He
answer.
slapped him with his lance all the way like shit. Old man? He's giving it up? Is he gonna survive ripping that out?
I give his glory to you.
Beating. It has a white aura too, just like Sethos did. What is Cyno doing?
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge.
I think the desert has some of my favorite lore in Genshin. Like this whole
civilization.
Like I know exploring the desert sucks, but it
Barely
has
a century passed before war
crazy
ravaged
story.
the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization.
Yeah, and then you had tribes like
Only the
Tanith
wise
left.
city of Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city.
Didn't they talk about this in the
and
They
ordered
literally
the
talked about this
sages
in the
to surrender
Jet
to
Quest.
him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory.
If you did the world quest, there's a lot to
The
unpack
ruling
here.
elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival,
The
he broke
Tynarians.
his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his
Dang,
power
Tenadi's
upon his
ancestors kind of
mortal
handsome.
followers.
No, this is just me.
With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tula Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest.
So that's how Tsunadi's race ended up over there.
What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long.
Oh
Yet,
man, are you good?
Today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
You alive, Cyno? Imagine if he got stronger in game because of this.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
He's breathing. Dallas, thank you for the affiliate anniversary in the middle of that emotional cutscene. Screaming. I wanted Day to have my affiliate anniversary on, but I appreciate the wishes, the best wishes. My goodness. Yes, I'm glad you and Corny are getting dinner. When are we gonna get pluckers?
I know. I just...
Oh, the old man died. Oh. Yeah! Whoops! Yeah.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
He dead.
Yeah. He's been on death's door for a very long time.
I'm looking, y'all, Dallas. I will
think it was
follow
only
up on
through
that
sheer
later.
willpower that he managed to hold on to this point.
I do have
At least
Memorial Day off.
He was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanupis
But Cyno doesn't want to be in charge of this dump.
That entitles
I
you
assume.
to be our new leader, Cyno.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the
I did not
staff,
expect this quest to be
records,
this
and
long. Oh
environment
my
here.
god.
As
I
such,
thought this was going to be an
I am
hour and a half or
ill-suited to be
2
your
hours
leader,
we would be done, but
Sethos.
they really
I
added
believe
too
the
much in the
honor
beginning
should
of
go
this
to you.
quest.
Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now.
So Sethos is going to be in charge of this dump.
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamoon as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become
Y'all,
friends,
Deepa is playing Team
which
Fortress
means that the
2.
Academia
I just
and
wanted
the
to
Temple
say
of
that.
Silence will become partners once more. That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the Temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel.
Y'all needed to
That
have a
way,
come to Jesus
no matter
moment.
who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis
Yeah,
would
I
be
think he
concentrated in
definitely
one
planned it
single
that
person.
way.
Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple.
I know,
much
Deepa
less
will
integrate the
play
temple into the
freaking
academia by
Overwatch.
force.
Oh my gosh.
He knew that the temple's future
She'll
would
play
depend not
TF2,
just on the
but
guidance of
TFT, but not
Hermanubis,
Overwatch.
but the
I'm
support
on
of the
Overwatch. I'm
academia
gonna
too.
Overwatch after stream for sure.
So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that,
That
it
old
would
man
result
planned
in a
all
net
this from the
benefit to
very
temple.
beginning.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the
Wait,
Temple
so
of
this
Silence
area is
for their pursuit
permanent?
of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization, more than any other organization in existence today. In times when you need information that
So
only
the
we
Temple
can
of
provide,
Silence, we can
we will be
revisit
here
this
to support
place.
you. But you must be exceedingly
me.
careful with your
I'll
selection
fight
of
you.
candidates. lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tighnari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluca Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tighnarians and appointed him as his familiar.
So
He went on to fight
Hermanubis
many
was
valiant
literally
battles
Tenari's
with his
descendant?
Tighnarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple
so
of Silence to the fall of Tuletula.
That's so funny.
The
That's why they
Tighnarians who
both have
left
the pointy
Tuletula
ears.
joined their human counterparts
I mean,
in the rainforest.
I mean,
A few centuries
Cyno
later,
they both got the pointy
when some
ears
of the group
because
returned to the
Anubis
desert,
was literally
many of the
Tenari's
Tighnarians
race.
chose to stay and put down roots in the rainforest. In all likelihood, those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tighnarians, but I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of
Tignati.
Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes.
Oh, old man.
Cyrus. You'll
I guess we should
probably
probably
find
go
him in my
talk to him,
grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but
Wait, I knew it.
I
This
think he
is
still
old
has
man
many
Yowie.
fond memories
I
of my
knew it.
grandfather.
If it's true that you
I
and your
know an hour
grandfather
ago I said
really
that, but this
planned
is
for
literally
everything to
this is
turn out this
literally
way,
doomed old man Yowie.
then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just pawns in my
Not him calling
grandfather's
his own
plan to
grandfather
set things
awful
straight.
like that.
He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the Academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead.
I wonder if
But once
Sethos is
things
getting a
return to
hangout
normal,
event, and
please
we're
come
just
and
gonna
visit
run
the
around the
rainforest again.
desert as part of
We
this
should stay
hangout
for a few days
for
this
his
time,
story
and
quest.
start to. If we're going to work together, both sides have to get to know one another better.
I will. All right. Well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Good luck to you, Sethos. Wait, I want to talk to him one more time.
Grandfather.
Oh,
We
it's
did
his
it.
freaking grave.
We achieved what we set out to do. From this day on, the Temple
Also,
of Silence
Vanessa,
has
hello.
the chance to work with the Academia once more. Real change. Real opportunities.
I'm doing the thing that Prophet
They are now
hates
within
me
our
seeing
grasp.
do. I'm spinning the camera around in the middle of dialogue while somebody's trying to be emotional in their dialogue. Okay, back to SUMERU City. Where's the... Is it this teleporter I want? It's this one, right? Right? Because the other teleporter that looks like it's close to the Academia is actually a scam, and you want to take this one that isn't a scam. Sethos is Electro Yoimiya. He's a bow user. That's really weird because he literally used the lance in the cutscene. Either way, if it's information that we don't officially know yet, I don't want to know about it. Hoyoverse is
What were
keeping
you
that
thinking,
LAN under
gallivanting off
lockdown,
into
but
the
they can't
desert
seem to
alone
keep
at
the
your age?
characters'
What if you take
gameplay
the
on
bucket,
lockdown.
You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I
I
have?
think this guy has the
What do you
funniest
mean, what
glasses
other
ever. I
choice?
just can't
Do
take
you
this
mean to tell me
seriously.
that after all your years of learning, and
God.
sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some
White-haired
hot-headed
walnut.
20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, hmm? That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that
They were
I'm
gonna
your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh and blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers.
Dude, you did Jack. You did
Fine,
nothing.
I admitted I was in the wrong.
You literally were
How
just
can I
a
make it
damsel
up
in
to you?
distress during that quest and did nothing to help us.
A month's work at the Academia.
1 month? Try 3.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus. Let's give them a wide
Look,
berth.
if there's one thing I learned in
Professor brought this on
JRPGs is
himself.
never deal with old man's
Don't
efforts.
pay any attention to him.
Affairs, I mean.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a
I just
long
realized
time.
Tanati and his
The last
master
time he
both have the
chewed someone out
Karen
like this
haircut.
must have been back when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me? We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat.
Free
You in?
food?
Makes
I can
sense.
never deny free
I'm in.
food.
Hyman's coming too. Let's go.
You'd better start packing your things. Report for work first thing tomorrow morning. I'll be waiting for you.
What about my allowance? Oh, and his lunch covered. How about dinner?
I cannot believe Cyrus found a new man.
Let's not forget who is compensating whom here.
Joking.
Man's gotta eat. Help me figure out something for lunch at least. I'm counting on you.
Okay, where's Cyno? We're going to this dump. It's Calais and Faruzan. What is she doing
Calais.
here?
You're back!
Faruzan, what are you doing here?
Well, look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved.
Yes.
Do I make myself
getting
clear?
scolded by an old
Because
lady.
if you don't,
Calais, please do something.
Save us, please.
He's giving me the signal.
Please give me the
All right,
signal.
guess it's time to play my
What's
ace
the
in
ace in the hole?
Say, Madam Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but I was just wondering. Remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the Academia? Does that offer
Tanati
still
and
stand?
Cyno are basically
Huh?
like Calais' parents.
wait,
The
did I
signal.
hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madame Farazan will show you around the old classrooms.
Yes, old lady. She's gonna be like, wait a
Poor
minute, how long has
Calais
that
getting
been
dragged
there?
off like that. Also, check out Farazan acting like some sort of official Academia tour guide.
Calais!
I can't believe Farazan showed up just to be Farazan
Huh?
for this
What?
one scene.
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school.
Literally,
And it's
they
become
are a
something of a
family.
family tradition
Cyno,
now.
Dari, and Calais.
Oh, that's kind of
They're
fun.
literally a family. Like,
2 people left.
it
Let's
makes
bring them
me
along
so
too.
happy. Makes me so happy. Follow Cyno. Y'all, why is this quest still going? If this was any other Genshin story quest, we would be done by now. And it would say to be continued, and then I could close stream and play like 2 games of Overwatch and then sleep. I mean, I appreciate the extra silliness, but also it's kind of weird that it's still going. Oh no. Look at this freaking fruitcakes. Oh, and you're here too? Alhatham's here too.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhatham engaged in diligent
What is
studying?
going on here?
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole mountain
What
of them.
were y'all doing?
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Yes, with your help, we resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly.
Why are they hanging out
and
with
the
each
outcome
other
was better
a
than we
lot?
could have hoped for.
What could they have possibly been doing?
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
I have no
And
words.
it sounds like they
I'm
managed
just
to preserve a
side-eyeing
whole
these
load
two.
of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the chance.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain
I
good
wonder if they're
relations
gonna
with
have an
them in the
event in
future.
SUMERU involving that.
Now, as a token of
one
my
day.
appreciation, I'd like to treat everyone to coffee.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great.
No,
although
Kaveh, I know,
after the
wants
last few
freaking
days, I don't know if I can
mimosas.
handle another coffee. But I can just order something else.
Sure. Let's go.
I wonder, can I read this? No, Risley, get your big butt up. Why can't I jump? Oh, apparently I forgot how to jump in this game. The Lay of Al-Ahmar. Was that always there, or did that unlock with the story quest? I wish I could read it easily. It's fine. I'm going to the cafe. That cafe, I keep misreading it. I keep thinking it says Pupusa Cafe. It's Puspa Cafe. I'm gonna run around as I'll hate them.
And then the traveler just pounced on their opponent
And just
knocked him right out cold.
I still think it was
Then
really
there was
weird that they had
Canary.
monsters
He put up an amazing fight
instead of
too.
actual
We ended
people
up
to
winning all
fight.
3 bouts.
Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about you guys.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of
I
detail,
never get tired of the
but
way
it
I'll
has
hate them
livened up the
speaks. He
room all the
sounds
same.
so overdramatic. He's like,
I including all the
suppose.
juicy details. The traveler just pounced and then
What
waved
is
their
this
sword
camera
like this,
angle?
then spun
Shing,
around and
shing.
blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Cyno.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
The venue was pretty impressive too.
Yeah, huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one for later, Paimon. Dessert's here.
Everyone enjoys each other's company, but the shockwaves left by the Temple of Silence gradually fade away into
I
silence.
think that'll do me for today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably finish putting all
These
those books
two,
back.
I
My
hate
thoughts
these
exactly.
two. I
See
hate
you around.
y'all. Y'all are just scuttling off together again.
I should get going as well. See you all later. Make sure you get some good rest tonight.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work processes. So, I gotta dash too.
Kale's come a long way. She's much more confident at dealing
Aw,
with other
look
people
at the
these
proud
days.
fathers.
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
So now what are we gonna do? Are we done? Am I done? No? I thought it was done.
That was good.
Ah.
It feels like everything's
We're never done,
finally
are
wrapped
we?
up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after a job well done. And also, those desserts Cyno got, they were really good. Paimon definitely needs more of those in the future.
We'll come back.
Do you 3 have anything planned for the rest of
I'm
the day?
surely we'll get whisked over here. No.
If not, would you come somewhere with me? That's a secret for now.
Where are we going,
Wouldn't want to
Cyno?
spoil the surprise.
Okay. I think I can guess where you're talking about. It'll definitely be a nice surprise.
Well, now Paimon's curious. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Go to the place Cyno mentioned. Isn't this Nahita's domain? No? No, we're going somewhere else. What is this?
Been a while since I last made my way up here.
Oh, look at this place! We're so high up!
Need any help?
I mean, we're just right outside Nahita's door. I'll climb the tree.
As you wish.
I forget where.
That's a
There
nice
was
spot,
another
isn't it?
quest where we ended right
What
up
a
here.
great view! We're
I don't
so
remember
high
which
up,
one it
we can see
was.
for miles!
Traveler,
Yeah.
turn around.
It's all of SUMERU. Well, the rainforest anyway. It would be beautiful if I would clean up all the corruption in there.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends. When I was a
Best
student,
friends,
I used to
dang.
slip away and climb up here all the time.
You
Just to
skipped
clear my
class,
head.
bruh.
I was quite young then, and hadn't made too many friends yet. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for? Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
As long as Hermanubis' power endures, you remain inextricably tied to the Temple of Silence.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
Are you talking about Cyno and Sethos? Because Cynos and Sethos are definitely like brothers. Yeah.
Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Cyno accidentally dropped a fruit.
Girl, I would
Luckily,
not bother saving
he
that
has fast
fruit.
reflexes, so he
I'd
caught
be
it just in
terrified to
time.
do anything up here.
That was the one and only time.
Actually,
Nothing will
I would
ever
just want to
slip
sit
through
up
my
here and hope
fingers
I don't
again.
slip.
Those were good times. I kind of miss the student life.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Cyno doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there.
It's
Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're not supposed to jump down! Be careful!
Oh, we're playing a Cyno! Bruh.
Nowhere to run!
Not me trying to attack
Oh my
him.
days. I can't believe how
Hello,
stupid I look
man.
in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno. Just the man I'm looking for.
Oh my
Guess
god,
what I
Soup is
found
very
in some
desperate
old
for his booty
notebooks.
watch.
Some old
Oh,
photos?
look at how young they
Can you believe it?
was. He's still
This
like
notebook
he's
was
still like brown
just sitting
hair.
in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office. I must have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since.
Baby
It was still right
Cyno.
there. I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross it. Well, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still a kid.
You look quite young yourself in that one.
Yeah, he looked way
Ah,
younger.
It's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Lisa took it.
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
And this one. Looks like we're both dozing off.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of us without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you
Cyno
feel
looks
the
so good
same
in this
way.
shot.
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. And other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another. You've matured so much over the years, Cyno.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious.
I just realized we met both
Hey,
Cyno and Tsunadi's masters.
How
in
did I
this
not
quest.
notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again. Just how
Wait,
many
what
did
photo
she
was
take?
that?
Look how
Look
cute you
at
were
that.
when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then, too.
Well, man.
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
I'm dead.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now
Not the
besting me at
jabs.
those little quips, too.
Don't say that. I still have a lot of respect for you.
Huh, that's more like it. Hey, what would you say to meeting
Oh
up with
no,
Lisa
I know
again
it's gonna be an
sometime?
absolute circus show if they all meet up again.
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a
Maybe
visit in
over in
Mondstadt.
Dornman Port, y'all can
Right,
meet up.
I'll add it to my schedule.
Huh?
Let's
Huh?
go next week.
No?
Wait, no. Next
No.
week is the tomato growing competition.
I guess not.
I have got to
Dang.
beat Zaha Hadid.
Or you
Well,
could
I
find
tried,
a real
y'all.
hobby, Professor.
Cyno is so good at those jabs. Family. Family. We're done. Oh my gosh, let me talk to them one more time.
Time has passed too quickly.
It's,
Children have all
you
grown
should
up.
meet your grandkid,
It
Cyrus.
turns out grown-up
Freaking
kids are no
Collet.
use. Nephis comes after me. Cyno still can't do anything to protect me. Oh, that boy.
Cyno, what do you have to say?
Great view today. This atmosphere calls for a joke out of left field to catch the listener unawares.
A joke out of left field, whatever that means. Anyway, that story quest was a lot longer than I expected, but it was good. It was good. It had a very slow start, I'm gonna be honest, but I liked the moments with Kave. See all the academia crew, Kave, I'll hate them. Tsunadi, Cyno. And I felt like this was better than Cyno's first story quest. It did what I think a story quest should do and try to move a character forward in, you know, their arc in the game, and they did with Cyno. They did. So I can't complain, can I, too much? But yeah, it was very good. Very good. And now I think I actually truly am done covering all the content in 4.6 that I care about covering. So yeah, I think the next time I stream Genshin will be probably for 4.7. I can't believe I'm saying 4.7. That sounds. If you told me a couple years ago that I would be playing 4.7,
this wasn't locked.
I would be like,
How
what?
convenient.
What? Patch 4. What? But yeah, I guess I'm done covering stuff with Genshin. I think I'm gonna end here. I'll probably do a Star Rail stream in the weekend or maybe next week. And other than that, I'll just be playing Final Fantasy XIV and Eiyuden.